views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail.
Hey, everybody. I am so thrilled to have all of you tune us in and turn us on. This is a special version of our Sheer Alchemy show with Leslie Fonteyne. Today, Leslie is bringing a new conversation. I love this. Artificial markers. Who said you can't do it now? Yeah, who said that? I want to know. Well, for those of you, you know who Leslie is. She doesn't really beat around the bush. I mean, she is talking about how do we get transformation to come to the forefront of our lives. She is a transformation catalyst. And she does this with intuition. She has these amazing energetic gifts. But most importantly, she knows how to bring in the what do I want to say, helpers. You know, the helpers that many of us are and can talk to that have been in our lives, but for some reason we forget they're there. Whether you know about Leslie working with you on abundance, you know her Abundance Now events, whether it's one-on-one conversations with her or having her speak as she does all over North America and now internationally, you know that she is in the game to help all of us get the lives we desire. But today, artificial markers, who said you can't do it now? And here we go, Leslie. Great to have you here.
Oh, it's great to be here. As always, Pat, as always. Yeah, this is a good topic.
Okay, let's start off. Many people may not know what an artificial marker is. I mean, when I looked at this earlier, I thought, oh, boy, yep, I think I got some things going on. Tell folks what an artificial marker is. What have you discovered that people are doing?
An artificial marker is something that we think is real, and it isn't. So, for example, we have a belief about, let's say the economy, or we have a belief about how things are going to turn out. You know, things come in threes. This is how it always is. I'm at a certain point in life and I should have achieved these things. And, you know, if you get to the bottom of it, why do we believe this? Why do we think this? We don't really have any reason except for some arbitrary lesson that we learned in our culture, or that we learned about ourselves from our parents, or that we learn in the workplace. This is how things are. You know, one would be, for example, you know, let's say, you know, in the United States, we say we have a democracy, okay, and that we have free speech. But just about 99.9% of people know that if they go to the workplace and say anything that they want, they're going to get fired.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't have free speech. And then we start to realize, oh, my gosh, these are all the places in my life I really do censor myself. I don't speak my truth. I don't tell people what I really want. I don't tell people who I really am. I don't tell people what I enjoy in life. I'm a little embarrassed. I don't want to be made fun of. So there's a lot of these things that we bring into our lives, and we shut ourselves down, and we can tell around certain energies how we do that.
Yeah. I mean, I love that we have these ideas, and you're so right about that. We work in businesses, corporations, And you're absolutely right. There are things that, as a human resources specialist, that we would literally fire people for. But how do we reconcile that? You know, what does that mean to us? What do how do these markers show up in our lives? Are we always self-editing? You know what I mean? Self-editing, like, wait, I shouldn't say that. Okay, don't say it.
Constantly, you know, and I've had people, you know, say things to me, for example, like, well, I'm, you know, a certain age, I'm 55 years old and I'm having to learn new technology. And, you know, everybody else is so much faster than me, and I'm not going to be able to, you know, prove my value very well. Okay, well, where did all that come from? Yeah. You know, the opportunity was given to you. So the next thing would be the opportunity is given to you because you're present to share a light in the place that you're in. You know, you walk into a grocery store, you walk into a gas station, you know, you're there on purpose. And so we have these beliefs, well, I'm there just to get a candy bar. Well, maybe you're also there because you're going to have an amazing encounter with someone, too, that's going to transform your next steps. So we just come into these ideas like, well, I don't have a retirement plan, so, you know, by 60 I should have one. Well, who wrote that rule? You know, before the Depression, there wasn't any such thing. So we have all these ideas about what life's supposed to look like. And then what happens, Pat, is that we start getting very disappointed, and that heavy energy fills up our energy field. And it starts to be a downer, like no matter how good we're doing, we can't see it because we feel this heaviness.
Yeah. You know, and I love the way you're putting this, because sometimes, Leslie, I don't know about the folks that you work with, but sometimes people say, oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know. But this heaviness transcends the I don't know, and we end up depressed. We end up immobilized. I mean, is it that we really don't know, or is it something else?
I would challenge that. I think we always know what's going on. Mm-hmm. I think we don't like the answer we get.
Yeah.
We get it. We don't like the answer that's about our truth. So, you know me, I'm doing work on deep transformational level, which means I can throw myself into that pot. I haven't achieved perfection. We're all shifting all the time. So when a wound surfaces, something pushes my button. And I'll just give an example. Like, you know, I can have an example where, you know, somebody says something that's slightly derogatory toward women. Okay, that is a big button with me. God, if I worked on it, I would love to pretend to the world that I don't care. But it hits a button. So I have to go in and I have to work on that, right? Well, how does that affect me during the day? Does it affect what I choose to go after? Does it affect the arguments I get into, or the discussions, or the things that I step into? Do I hold back? Do I choose only certain situations where I know I won't encounter certain things? You know, notice how we restrict ourselves. That's how we find out what's going on. When we start to restrict ourselves, then we start to limit our opportunities. And that place, that wound, is where we want to heal. That cloud is where we want to lift things, you know, because someone said, okay, well, you've hit this age threshold. You have these physical limitations. You have these financial limitations. Therefore, well, that completely rules out source to come in and lift any kind of opportunity, you know, into your situation.
Yeah. And here we are. How does this manifest in our lives? What do we do, what we don't do? What is a great misconception about these artificial markers? What happens when we do have a feeling? Does it mean we do nothing? Let's take a short break. When we come back, Leslie Fonteyne's in the house. This is a great topic. And for those of you out there, as always, you know, feel free to give us a shout, 1-800-930-2819. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. More Leslie Fonteyne, Sheer Alchemy, artificial markers. Who said you can't do it now? We'll be right back.
consultant Jen Morgan is here with Radically Distinct Radio to help you take control of your future and maximize your brand's power to produce results. Whether you're an individual trying to reinvent yourself and launch a new venture, or you're an executive trying to reposition your company to modernize your sales and marketing programs, Jen Morgan and the RAD method empower you to play to your strengths and show up in the world as your most powerful brand. To learn more, go to jenmorgan.com. That's Jen with 2 N's Morgan.com, or call 206-972-5366.
Are you feeling stagnant or blocked in your love life, career, health, or finances? Experiencing difficulty focusing or setting and achieving goals? Tune in to Spiritual Diagnostics Radio with psychic visionary healers Carol Dorian and Suzanne Evans. Discover the cause and effect of unwanted patterns in life. Tune in every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio. For more information, visit spiritualdeed.com.
Get ready to experience Truth Talk Radio with host Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio each Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. This hit show will leave you feeling lighter and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com for upcoming transformative topics and guests.
Is traditional medicine not working for you? Do you still feel as if your health isn't 100%? Here at the Holistic Medical Center, Dr. Nushin Darvish and the qualified staff look through the dimensions of wellness and start a healing plan prioritized to your needs. Our physicians assess the whole you until complete health is achieved. Get the help you need by visiting drdarvish.com or call 425-451-0404.
Tune in to Lucid Planet Radio with Dr. Kelly Neff. This hit show will illuminate your senses and empower you beyond your daily stressors and hardships. Renowned psychologist and author Dr. Kelly will captivate you with far-reaching topics and amazing guests as you wake to the greatest version of yourself. Learn to tap into your intuitions, think critically about our world, heal emotional and psychological wounds, and follow your passions to live your dreams. The Lucid Planet. Welcome home. Visit lucidplanetradio.com for more information.
Are you ready for a game changer? Sarah Westall is bringing you Business Game Changers Radio. Sarah brings you leading experts, visionaries, and newsmakers who provide the best commentary on big issues and cutting-edge innovations. Sarah's 20 years as a business executive will help you think like an entrepreneur with expertise, energy, and attitude. Tune in to Business Game Changers Mondays at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Leslie Fonteyne is in the house. I just want to tell everybody, if you want to find out more about Leslie, go ahead and go to her website, which is Leslie Fonteyne. I'll make sure you get it, the spelling on it, LESLIE, F as in Frank, ONTEYNE.com, lesliefontaine.com. But, you know, if you go out there and you Google Sheer Alchemy, you're going to find her. And you're going to get to her website and you're going to see what she's up to. You know, say yes to an abundant life, of course. And as she says, each moment is an opportunity to create the miraculous. Yeah, I love that. And that's why we're talking about this today. You know, we're talking about these artificial markers. You know, Leslie, you and I were talking during the break. You know, sometimes they feel artificial, but I'll tell you, you know, that thing, that trigger you just pointed to, yeah, that is a trigger for me as well. And maybe, and here's what I'd like you to comment on. Maybe, at least for me, I'm not meant to heal that trigger in this lifetime. Is that possible?
You know, that can be, but I guess I would challenge that a little bit, that when it puts a block in front of our ability to unconditionally love and to fully step into the light and to be the light somewhere. In other words, if we're in offense and we're in fear and we're feeling poverty and we're feeling shamed, those affect our vibration. And so how do we show up? We show up with a grudge. We show up upset. We show up very emotional. And often the way I like to put it is somebody's going to miss their healing.
Oh, boy.
So we want to be mindful of it, because when it's showing up, does it take courage to heal some of these? Yeah, it does. You know, for someone like you, for example, you've shared often about some of the trauma you went through growing up. I have my version, and my God, what my clients have been through is just, you know, crazy, unbelievable. So, you know, going into these traumatic places to heal is no small order. You know, I know a lot of people that have spent their lives trying to be invisible so that nobody will hurt them. Okay, well, being invisible in this lifetime isn't, you know, going to raise your vibration, especially if you feel a real connection to source. So all of this stuff kind of gets in the way, right? We want to say, all right, am I ready? Can I go into that neighborhood? Well, guess what? I don't have to go into that neighborhood alone. I can bring a team, which we'll talk about later. But, you know, a lot of us went through our traumas alone. We didn't have anyone to back us up. So now we have the chance to bring in a very healing, mindful team to support us through it. And then that lifts our vibration. That allows us, you know, to step into the next thing and help someone else. Every time I know, Pat, you have healed something in you, the very next day, probably someone shows up and you're there for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I really think that when we're talking about this, we connect ourselves with so many things that, like you said, put us in a situation where we're missing the boat, where we don't quite realize that, you know, the person that's really, really being harmed by whatever it is really us. Right. And I don't think we do this consciously. I don't think I know I don't wake up on any given day, Leslie, and say, oh my God, I just woke up with that fear that I've always wanted to have. You know what I mean? I don't think I do that. But there's some days that I do wake up with it. And, you know, I've been discovering that quite a bit in the past week. Yes. And so, you know,
a lot of us have woken up to some things in the past week.
Yeah. Yeah. The question is, how do we reconcile whether or not this is something we're resonating with, or if it's something we have to do something about, so that we don't have to fall into depression, or that we don't have to fall into immobility.
I love this. I love this show. This is so great. This is awesome, because I love to talk about going where everybody else says, oh, don't talk about that. It's too negative and we don't want to put that stuff out there. Well, this stuff is coming up. And let me give you an example, like, let's say, of our recent national election. Okay,
good. Yeah.
A lot is coming up for people, right? Yeah. And a lot is coming up emotionally, and there's a lot of further vitriol. There's a lot of further resistance energy, if you can feel it. You know, I'm resisting something that's happening, whether I like it or I don't like it. On both sides, there's resistance, right? And so people are going, oh my God, oh my God. So at what level does one engage? Does one engage at the resistance level? Well, since we're talking on kind of a, you know, a spiritual wellness, mindfulness, you know, radio program, no, that's not the level that we want to engage. But what it's doing, it's bringing up things to be healed. It's bringing up things to check out. So am I coming from a place of fear? Am I coming from a place of resistance? I have to go into me and go, okay, why? What do I do now? To your point, do I want to heal that fear? What's the fear about? Often, you know, we're going to go way back. We're going to bring it forward, and we're going to clear some of this out. Some of it is, how do I want to engage? Well, if we're engaging in anger and frustration and irritation, then that's not the best energy. I'm not ready yet.
Yeah. So let's talk about this for a minute, because I think there is a massive global confusion about this. Massive global confusion. Okay. So here I am. I have a private Facebook account, and and that's separate and apart from the Dr. Pat show. But you know what I'm realizing, it's not so private. And so if I post something on there, people are like, what the F is wrong with you? I'm not kidding. This is what people are saying to me.
Yeah.
They're saying, and I'm looking at this and I'm saying, wait a minute, am I not supposed to talk about what happens when we treat people really not just disrespectfully, but harmfully. It's really quite a conundrum, that folks believe we can't have a higher consciousness and still speak out. And I don't know how you resolve that. And I can't wait to hear from you about this.
Well, boy, there's a lot packed into that. And honestly, I teach whole classes on this, and it's important. So let me start with this statement.
All right.
Hitler wasn't okay. That was not acceptable.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
That was not acceptable. That was not okay. So, if anyone's thinking we just roll over and play dead, we hide, we recoil, we are in fear, that may be our manifestation this lifetime. Okay, that may be the best we can do because we're so wounded and we're so torn up from everything in this lifetime or the accumulation that's the best we can do. There is no judgment about that. Okay, to respond in kind is not okay. So there is a point at which we rise up within ourselves in a much higher level energetically, and we choose to do, I guess, battle at another level, but we can't engage with the same weaponry. It's just not, it's not healthy. It's not going to serve the higher good. But this stuff is bringing up a whole bunch of stuff that's been very subterranean, right? We're all feeling it. So for each of us, and we could talk about this on another show, it's bringing up numerous heavy, big things. And so we're overwhelmed with it. What do I do? How do I shift? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to take to the streets? Am I supposed to, just pray? Am I supposed to write dramatic things? What am I to do? So, and then we get upset if we don't have the answer in the next second. But I would go within and I would check out, what's my motivation right now? Is it fear? Is it, how can I heal? How can I shift? And then the answer comes next, like, this is what I need to do. And I think we all know the difference. See, if we're kidding ourselves if we don't know when we're pissed off.
We really are. It's really the great cosmic joke, isn't it?
It is.
It's a cosmic joke to believe, wow, you're doing a positive talk radio show. You're not supposed to be angry. You're supposed to be neutral. And I'm telling you, I'm really thinking about this a lot, because if I were neutral, I wouldn't be doing a positive show.
Right.
Right. Or I wouldn't be doing
That's why I
show.
started out saying Hitler's not okay.
Right.
This assumption that, well, let's just, appease and all that. Well, Chamberlain did that before World War II, right? At peace in our time, it's all going to be fine. Okay. So we're seeing the gamut right now.
Yeah.
We're seeing the gamut of reactions, but we can honor one another and go, okay, that's where they're at. That's the best they can do. This is the best I can do. Do I want to do better? Yes, I do. Would I rather be, much stronger, much more powerful? Of course. What do I need to heal to get there? So all kinds of stuff comes up as an opportunity, right? This is our opportunity. Everybody wants to go, well, tell me what I should do. Well, let's go inside of you and let's check you out. Let's find that out.
I love that.
You do?
Well, exactly. And, for those of us, Leslie, and this is the work you do with people, you do this work with people to help people get to the place where they can get to what's really going on. Right. This is not about telling folks, this is what you should do or this is what you shouldn't do. Right. I love the questions that listeners and people on social media have presented to me. I just love it. Because I don't know exactly how I feel about certain things. Mm-hmm. And then there are other things I do know how I feel about. I really do. I really know. I know how I feel about it. And in the same breath, how do you learn about this degree of spirituality, right, that works? How do we learn about this? And how do we get to the place where we know that I am showing up at the best spiritual being that I could be? Oh, but maybe I'm not. How does that work with reality?
It is a powerful question. I've talked with some people, like, they may be sharing cubes at work with someone who voted differently than they do, and it's become a very big psychic deep, profound issue for them. What does this mean? Are we opposed? And that's why I ask people to check their resistance, see what's going on, because if we have a real heavy resistance, we want to go into that. Is it fearful? So, are we feeling shame, frustration? Are we feeling silenced? Are we feeling fearful? Are we afraid to step into a next decision? We have to check all this out, especially if something's been downloaded to us and we've gotten clarity on an idea or a position. We go, what? Do that now? Really? It's amazing. That's the kind of thing you want to look at in terms of the artificial markers. You got a vision, you got an awareness, and now some external thing has happened and you're going, oh my gosh, what do I do now? Well, check it out. Go back to your source within yourself and go, wow, what is the energy coming up? Am I afraid to step into that? Am I afraid to speak those things? Or am I letting something outside of me change my vision?
Well, I think that what you're talking about, we're seeing this. So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, what is it like to encounter, here it is, a well-worn belief and try to move it? How about the belief that, I really do want to get some abundance here, but I'm never going to be a millionaire. Let's try that one on. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Sheer Alchemy, Leslie Fonteyne. Tune in to Mainstream Metaphysics Radio to harness your connection with the universe to effect change for optimal success and happiness. Named one of the country's top psychics, Eve now brings her insights and gifts to this weekly hit call-in show, joined by visionaries, leaders, and gifted others, but mostly you. Jot it down. Thursdays, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
What is a brilliant culture? And how do we create them? Why are they important? Claudette Rowley has created a breakthrough 5-step process to help you design a culture that is authentic, innovative, and successful. Learn how to create change with Cultural Brilliance Radio, the DNA of organizational excellence, and Claudette Rowley. To learn more or work with Claudette, visit ClaudetteRowley.com.
Are you sick of feeling overworked with no motivation? Take a break from the daily grind. Life coach Nicole Eisler is here to provide a healing journey of optimism. Passionate and caring, Nicole is no ordinary soul. Her dedication to helping everyone has no limit. Witness the power of positivity. Tune in every first and third Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific for Positivity Party Radio with Nicole Eisler on Transformation Talk Radio. For more information, visit BigDreamAwakening.com.
Tune in to The Michael Shane Show, the third Tuesday of each month at 11 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com and connect with the ascended beings to raise your vibration and manifest the life you desire. Get ready to receive healing through the transphysical mediumship of Reverend Michael Shane and the ascended beings. Visit MichaelShane.com. That's MyChael, Shane.com, and call 425-971-6632 to schedule your full healing session now.
Would you like to experience life-transforming adventures in personal expansion and world service? If you do, tune in to learn about magical innate abilities that you can develop and use to make your dreams come true. Joy Elaine is author of the Joy Chronicles, and she's inviting you and millions of others to join her in working with galactic masters, angels, and the Ashtar Command as they assist humanity and planet Earth to achieve their ultimate destination of ascension. For more information about this upcoming event and broadcast, visit joyelaine.com. That's joy, ELAINE.com.
Tune in to Dynamics of Diversity Radio, scripting the new narrative for immigration with leading experts Kripa Upadhyaya and Steve Tanijo on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This show will remove the noise that often accompanies discussions on this topic and share a new perspective on the dynamics of immigration and diversity, ever reminding us that together we are all at the core of innovation, excellence, and positive change. Visit OrbitLawPLLC.com for upcoming topics.
Division from a collision of minds got us one in every two falling victim to crimes. Cause when you wonder, should I play for these high stakes? You're going under thinking, will my brothers be in my wake? So I be on the low end, chilling with the spirits, they like my friends. They give me consonants and I hear it up in the wind. On a breezy day, gotta be an easier way, but I can't see it, so I pray for all my peoples on this side.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Leslie, before we jump ahead, let folks know what you're up to. I know that you're going to be bringing folks together, workshops you're doing. Tell them how they can find out more about that.
Absolutely. If you want to do some work on some of the stuff that's showing up for you today in this radio program, you can visit my website, lesliefontaine.com. As Pat said, you can also find me on Sheer Alchemy just by Googling me that way. And I do deep, transformational, energetic, shifting, clearing, block removing sessions. And this allows you to go to the core of what maybe has been holding you back or having you brace yourself for years, for perhaps your lifetime. We go into inner child work, deep ancestral work, and you are going to be amazed at what moves because you're ready. So if this whole situation has brought up some things that you're ready to shift and move, fantastic. Call me. So just go to lesliefontaine.com or call 678-665-3366.
You know, let's talk about this topic today because here we are, right? We're talking about, these well-worn beliefs that we have, but we're also talking about the fact that we, some of us know we're on a spiritual journey. I know for myself, Leslie, I am not perfect at this. I never have been. But I'm willing to explore it. But these beliefs that we carry, and I love the way you phrase this, well-worn. Okay, let's talk about that differently. They are so buried within us sometimes that they're not just well-worn. They are totally well-worn out. And, to try to move them is hard by ourselves because, first of all, we can't even see that we even have them.
That's true. We can't see that we have them until something hits a button, or maybe we're in a healing session with someone, or, someone's doing some energy work on us and we just suddenly realize we're holding some stuff within us. You talked about depression earlier, and depression honestly is about holding in our power. It's not allowing it to come out. It's not allowing our voice to express or our emotions to come out. We've created all kinds of constraints around us. So when someone, comes out right and says something or lets us see that block within us, that's when we become aware. And I honestly think it's, the grace of Source and the light beings to not show us this stuff all at once. It'd be too much. Because once we go into the depth of healing, it's very deep, it's very emotional, and we don't know how attached we are until we try to move it. You are so right.
So in the work that you do, you've heard this, I've heard this. Why is it so hard? Why can't I just believe, Leslie, that, I do want an abundant life. And, well, wait a minute. Is it okay to believe that I'm going to be a millionaire or could be a millionaire? Is it really hard to even say that? Do people look around you and say, that's ridiculous? How are you going to do that? How do we hold on to the beliefs that will get us to where we want to be? And there's a confusion between, oh, that's a belief and reality. Oh, no, don't believe that because that's not reality. See how confused we can get up around this? And then we get fired up and emotional.
Right. Well, that's why I tell people who would ever come out right and say they don't want abundance, but we do it all day long, all the time. we can have a lot of conflict within our field. So let's take the example, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, well, so we go, I want to draw that in. Well, then we start to go, well, what kind of responsibility is that going to require? What am I going to have to know how to do with the money? Am I going to have to get a new job? Will I have to leave my job at the post office in order to, go create this $1 million? Who's going to believe in me? Who's going to think I'm that smart? Who's going to think I'm that good? Do I need to move? All these things start coming in. So what starts to happen is overwhelm comes in. And we start thinking, well, I can't do that. Oh, well, then that takes us down another path of healing, right? All the reasons we learned that we weren't that great, that smart, that pretty, whatever it was. So we start to have to heal. Everything becomes about healing so that we can then step into that thing. But we often find out we don't want the responsibility of our dreams. We don't want to own it. We don't think we can handle it. And not only that, because so many of us deal with abandonment issues and shaming issues, we are convinced nobody will help us. I can promise you the CEO of a company does not run the company by himself. He's not running all the Excel spreadsheets by himself. He's not, putting out the marketing message for the company's products. He has other people doing that. So we get terrified that, well, maybe I can't manage people. I can't manage the situation. No one will listen to me. Maybe I'm not that strong. Maybe I'm not that articulate. I don't write really well. I don't speak really well. Amazingly, all this stuff comes up, and all you said was, I want to be a millionaire. So that's where the healing is about. Your desire is right on purpose, and it's on purpose to heal. My desires are on purpose to heal. Now, today, maybe I'm going to go, whoa, I'm not going into that neighborhood today. I can't deal with it. But tomorrow, maybe. Okay, or next month. Source is not judgmental like our friends that say, hey, well, remember last year when you tried to start a company? That worked out real well. That was $20,000 down the drain. Really? So, Source doesn't do that. It doesn't get all of this accusing. But if you looked at that 20,000 down the drain last year, you could go, wow, well, I shortcut my dream this way. I changed it. I modified it. I didn't think anybody would listen to me. I thought I had to do it all by myself. I couldn't find people I could trust. Ooh, I've got trust issues. You name it. I didn't really believe in my product. I didn't believe in myself. All these things come up. And if you are on the spiritual path, this is healing day every time this stuff comes up. So, you got to put on your big girl pants.
Yeah. And let's talk about what that looks like. I love to put on my big girl pants. And I got to tell you, some days I put on my big girl pants and I wake up and I sit down, Leslie, and I ask myself, what is mine to do today? What is mine to do today? And I hear it. And sometimes I hear, Pat, you better set up a separate Twitter account. Or, Pat, maybe you should find out more about this. Or, Pat, maybe you should start a network with 11 unique channels. But how do we go from that voice that wants to guide us? Because we get a lot of help, right, Leslie? Mm-hmm. How do we go from that voice that wants to guide us to taking action on our own behalf?
Well, I always encourage people to start listening and getting the guidance and writing down the inspired thoughts and actions that come. Okay. They may not come in any particular order. They may come, in ways that don't even make sense to you when you're creating a new business, because out there, by God, all those business, minds are going to tell you, well, that's ridiculous. But this is how it came to you. And you've done this with the whole transformational talk radio. You did that, so we have to follow the guidance that's coming to us. So each thing comes up, which is about something deeper within us. And it's also about your healing role in the world. Who are you in this world? If you're dealing with a lot of shame from your family, and I'm not saying you specifically, but if you are, then that's going to have to be healed before you go out there. Because you know what happens? That shame toxin goes out in things you say to others. That is not healing. So we're continually getting guidance, and then we start to take action. If it's, I need to get more education, I need to get support. And then the next set of things shows up that we have to heal. So the timing is all based on how fast we move through those things. Some of us move very quickly because we're much more evolved on some of this stuff. And a few others of us, we're at the beginning. There's no judgment about this. If we just started, hooray.
Yeah. Yay. Hooray. And you know what? I feel like I'm a newbie every day. I really do. There are some days that I look at myself in the mirror and I say, OMG, how'd I step in that pothole? But you know what? When we come back, I want to talk about, okay, so you're in the pothole. All right. Leslie's going to show you how to get the heck out. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show, Talk Radio to Thrive By. I am so thrilled to be talking to all of you. We have got talk radio for all of us. Are you ready and willing and able to accept all of the abundance you can muster up in your life? Check us out, thedrpatshow.com, transformationtalkradio.com, transformationradio.fm.
Hi, this is Leslie Fonteyne. When we try to control the manifestation of our desires, we unfortunately limit the possibilities. We reduce them down to the 3D linear level that we have seen and recognized from our past and from around us. Source is limitless. The potentiality is without bounds. Because you don't know how circumstances can unfold doesn't mean that they're going to turn out badly. Try taking your foot off the brake and allow Source to show you the amazing display of unlimited potentiality. If this is a pattern, you may want some help with releasing it. If you're ready to shift into your best life, visit lesliefontaine.com and let's talk about unfolding all that you want to be, do, and have. You'll find sessions, classes, and audio products to help remove the blocks and move you into that potential. And listen to my show, Sheer Alchemy, on Transformation Talk Radio, Wednesdays at 10 Pacific, 1 Eastern.
How confident do you feel about your retirement? Ask Ameriprise financial advisor Jeff Packman about the exclusive Confident Retirement Approach. Together, you and Jeff can break down retirement planning step by step to get to the real answers you need. Call Jeff Packman, financial advisor, today at 425-453-0272. Office is located at 601 108th Avenue Northeast, Suite 1800 in Bellevue, Washington, 98004. The Confident Retirement Approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member of FINRA and SIPC.
Are you ready to stop stress, anxiety, and low self-esteem from running your life? Join award-winning author Dr. Friedemann Schaub for Empowerment Radio and learn breakthrough solutions to switch out of survival mode and approach every day with great ease, joy, and purpose. Tune in the first and third Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific to Empowerment Radio with host Dr. Friedemann Schaub on Transformation Talk Radio. Visit thefearandanxietysolution.com to learn more.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
Hey, everybody. It's so great to have all of you tune us in, turn us on. Leslie, this is a powerful, powerful topic, and I guess we have a topic for our upcoming show, the next show we're going to do.
I know. I love that topic. We're creating something new every day.
I know. You know, I said something during a break, and I think it's a great segue. I said, you know what? You said people are waking up. I said people are waking up that I didn't even think had a pulse. And what I mean by that is people of all ages. You and I live in the Pacific Northwest. Students walked out of their classrooms. And, you know, it's not that we didn't know that they didn't have a pulse. But people have not. A 17-year-old said something to me. 16, sorry, a 16-year-old said something to me the other day, and I said to him, what was it about what you did? I mean, how do you feel about the fact that you and your classmates in West Seattle popped yourselves out and walked? I said, why now? And you know what he said to me? He said, we never had a reason to do it before. And I had to think about that, Leslie. I had to think about that. From a 16-year-old's mouth, he's having an awakening.
Right. And that's what we're minimizing right now in the
we are.
community.
Yes, we are.
We have to understand that is a massive, massive shift. And all of us could look at a time in our lives where either everything imploded, everything got destroyed, something really, really rough happened, and we woke up. So whatever our awakening moment is, it's transformational. It's a shifter, and all of us are not going to take the same path in this whole vortex. What happened in our election did not just suddenly happen. It came from somewhere over a long period of time. So whatever's going on within us, some of us have been suppressing some needs, desires, and things that we want to step into for decades. So if you're waking up now and you want to do the shift and you want to do the clear, this is the show for you. This is the words for you. This is the opportunity and the lessons for you.
Yeah. Aren't we seeing people all over questioning themselves at a lot of different levels? And I'm not just talking about people that voted for one side or the other. I'm talking about people that are questioning what they believe in, right?
Right.
This is not about a conversation about a political or an election. They're watching what's happening since the election.
Sure.
And asking themselves, how do I feel about those kids walking out of school? How do I feel about this? How do I feel about that? I mean, isn't that part of what you're talking about, though, when you say, how can we look at these markers, these artificial markers, right? And I love what you said about the spiritual community, because, somebody Facebooked me, am I even using the right term? And asked me where my spirituality went. And you know what my answer was to her? I said, okay. I said, I grew up with a man called Jesus, and guess what he did? He rode a mule through the temple. and what I'm saying is, I don't think any of us have been born to settle. But how we go about life and exploring this, isn't that what you're talking about today? Is helping people get to the deeper meaning of things?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of like the cultural mind meld. If some people listen to talk radio all day, in the old political days, or we watch the TV news all day, we are going to be affected in our energy field. Okay, we are going to be affected. If we're hearing the talk in the street, we're going to be affected. So right now we need to look at our energy field and go, are we shrinking back? Are we getting smaller? Are we getting angry? Are we feeling powerful? Are we feeling like, oh my God, I'm on the verge of a transformational experience? Let me bring in the masters, the light beings. Let me see what's going on in the higher dimensions. Let me take a look. I grew up in Southeast Asia. I grew up in Thailand. Thailand just lost a beloved king that I grew up with, who was on the throne for 70 years. And there is a huge issue with the new king coming in, which they cannot speak about out loud. No freedom of speech on that topic whatsoever. Now, that has been a transformational event in that country. Every country we could look at outward things and say, wow, what's happening that's affecting me deeply? That was such a profound state of grief for that nation. So it was transformational for them. What is this for us? What are we wanting to shift and move? And like you said, I love so much. What are the beliefs within me that I need to revisit? What are the things that I have accepted as status quo in my life that I'm going to be doing this job for the next 20 years? Some people have quit their jobs and gone into the streets. Some people have quit their jobs and, gone to do something radically different because of this. So what's your transformational journey now? What are you seeing in front of you, and what do you want to heal? Some of us just don't want to live with how this is feeling. Okay, let's go into that.
Yeah. You know, Leslie, I hate to say this. I mean, I guess it's going to sound like a cliche, right? But aren't we talking about what we really stand for in life, about ourselves? And what I mean by that is, I don't mean that in a, irrelevant. What I mean is, some days I wake up and I think, I want to create this airwaves of positive, uplifting messages. And today now I wake up and say, I want to create that, but it's got to be about people empowering themselves to live their authentic lives. What do you say about these ways that we can move beyond these beliefs? What a great show. I love this.
I know, I do too. I think each of us right now, and maybe, we go into our heart space right now. Why don't we just we've got 2 minutes here.
Yeah.
Let's just 2 minutes go in there and just notice, because there's a lot of tightness in our throat, chest space right now. There's fear of oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do? Can I just hide? What could I possibly contribute as a single individual? This is a huge, huge thing right now for a lot of people, is I'm just one person. We've learned how small we are. I can't make a difference, so I won't. Just notice what's coming up for you, some of your visions that have been important to you, and maybe somebody said something really hurtful to you a few days ago. And that's the back of the neck, where we let some people's energies come in and kind of affect the dreams and desires we have. Maybe somebody made a statement about our age, and we questioned whether we'd waited too long. It's too late. Just notice all of the physical symptoms we're having. How is it affecting your body? How about your security center? How are you feeling right now? Do you have a place where you just go crawl under a rock, go hide in a closet? When you get a vision, is it so powerful and overwhelming that you just want to hand it back and just go, no, not now, I can't do it? And why is it that it's not now and you can't do it? Is it because of abandonment and feeling alone? That no one would help you, support you, love you, honor you, respect you? What are all those voices? There's a lot going on in the sixth right now for people, in terms of guidance, and just kind of like a big traffic jam of how do I know it's guidance versus what I'm making up versus fantasy versus, word on the street. Just take a look at all that. Now I just want everyone just to do what they can right now to release the fear that it can't be done, you can't do it, and no one will support you. So this is a big thing. A lot's coming up for listeners right now. I just want to throw that out, that if you want to work on this or talk further about it, just feel free to reach out. And you can find me on Pat's website, Transformation Talk Radio, and just don't hesitate to reach out with what's come up, because it's a real overwhelming feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Leslie, thank you so much. And I look forward to our next show. LeslieFonteyne.com, everybody. And just go ahead and Google sheer alchemy. And you know what? Be aware of those artificial markers today. And if you need some help, give Leslie a call. Thank you so much, Leslie. What a great show.
Thank you.
Awesome. We'll see you next time.
Absolutely.
Preceding audio was via a Skype call.